Okay, topic, attention, curiosity, and admiration as sources of learning. Why is it why is attention essential for learning? Attention is the foundation of a learning process. Without attention, information cannot be properly be proper, processed, stored, or understood. When a person pays attention, the mind becomes receptive and actively engaged with the content. Attention allows learners to filter relevant information from distraction and focus cognitive resources uh, on what truly matters. In this sense, learning is not only about exposure to information, but about conscious engagement with it. Two, how does attention influence memory and understanding? Attention plays a critical role in memory formation and comprehension. When we focus on something attentively, our brain is more likely to encode uh, that information into long-term memory. Attention also allows deeper understanding as it helps uh, us connect the information with previous knowledge. Without sustained attention, learning becomes superficial uh, and easily forgotten. Therefore, attention is a key factor in meaningful learning. Three, what is curiosity and why does it drive learning? Curiosity is a natural desire to explore, question, and understand the world. It is one of the strongest internal motivations for learning. When curiosity is present, learning feels enjoyable rather than forced. Curious learners actively seek information, ask questions, and remain open to new ideas. Curiosity transforms learning into self-directed process where knowledge is burst out of genuine interest. And how does curiosity enhance motivation and engagement? Curiosity increases motivation because it creates an internal reason to learn instead of staying to obligation or pressure. Curious individuals learn because they want to know more. This intrinsic motivation leads to greater persistence and engagement. When curiosity is stimulated, and learners are more willing to invest time and effort, even when the material is complex or challenging. What role does admiration play in learning? Admiration plays a powerful role in learning by inspiring individuals to grow and improve. When we admire someone, such as teacher, professional, or role model, we often feel motivated to learn from their example. Admiration creates emotional connection, which strengthens learning. It encourages imitation, aspiration, and the desire to reach similar levels of competence or wisdom. How does admiration differ from imitation? While admiration can lead to imitation, it goes beyond simply copying behaviors. Admiration involves respect, appreciation, and recognition of values or abilities in others. Through admiration, learners internalize attitudes, principles, and ways of thinking. This makes learning deeper and more personal. Imitation may be temporary, but admiration often leads to long-term personal development. How do attention, curiosity, and admiration work together? Attention, curiosity, and admiration are interconnected and reinforce each other. Curiosity captures attention by creating interest. Attention allows curiosity to be explored in depth. Admiration sustains learning by providing inspiration and meaning. Together, these elements create an optimal learning environment where the learner is mentally focused, emotionally engaged, and personally motivated. 8. How can educators and learners stimulate attention and curiosity? Attention and curiosity can be stimulated by presenting meaningful, relevant, and emotionally engaging content, asking open-ended questions, encouraging reflection, and connecting learning to real life experience uh, are effective strategies. Creating a safe environment where curiosity is valued and mistakes are accepted also enhance learning. Learners who feel emotionally secure and more likely to pay attention and explore. 9. Can admiration be used internationally as a learning strategy? Yes, admiration can be intentionally fostered by exposing learners to be positive role models and inspiring examples, stories of perseverance, creativity, and ethical behavior can awaken admiration and motivate learning when learners see that others have overcome challenges or achieve uh, meaningful goals. They feel encouraged to learn and grow themselves. Admiration gives learning a human and emotional dimension. 10. Why are these three elements essential for lifelong learning? Attention, curiosity, and admiration are essential for lifelong learning because they sustain the desire to learn beyond formal education. Attention allows focus in a world full of distractions. Curiosity keeps the mind active and open to new knowledge. no- no- Open to new knowledge. Admiration provides inspiration and purpose. Together, they support continuous growth, activity, and personal development through life. Uh, the Midnight Library by Matt Haig. She smoothed a straight strand of her coal black hair up towards her ponytail. What are you saying, Nay? It's never too late to pursue a dream, but it's sure it's too late to pursue that one. You're a very well qualified person, Nora. Degree in philosophy. Nora started down at the small mole on her left hand. That mole had been through everything she'd, being thrown, and I just stayed and they're not crying. Just being a mole, not a massive demand for philosophers in Bedford. If I'm honest, Knight, you went to only had a year in London, then came back. I didn't have much of a choice. Nora didn't want a conversation about her dead mom, or even that, because Niall had found Nora's backing out of a wedding with 2 days' notice the most fascinating love story since Gore and Corny. We all have choices, Nora. There's such a thing as free will. Well, not if you subscribe to a deterministic view of the universe. But why here? It was either here at the Animal Rescue Center. It's paid better. Plus, you know music. You were in a band with your brother. I was the Labyrinth. We weren't really going anywhere. Your brother tells a different story. This took Nora by surprise. Joe, how do you? He bought an Marshall DSA 14. 40. Went Friday. He was in Bedford. Unless it was all over like Tupac. He was probably visiting Rabbit. Nora thought and Robbie was her brother's best friend, while Joe had given up the guitar and moved to London. For a crappy job he hated, Robbie had stooped to Bedford. He played in covers but now called Slaughterhouse for doing pub gigs around town. Right, that's interesting. Nora was pretty certain her brother knew Friday and was her day off. The fact prodded her from inside. I'm happy here, except you aren't. He was right. A soul sickness festered within her. Her mind was throwing itself up. She whined her smile. I mean, I'm happy with the job. happy as in, satisfied. Nay, I need this job. You're a good person. You worry about the world, the homeless, the environment. I need a job. He was back in his confused pose. You need freedom. I don't want freedom. This isn't a non-profit organization, so they have to say it is rapidly become one. Look, Nate, is this about what it said the other week? About you needing to modernize things? I've got some ideas of how to get younger people. Now, he said defensively. This place used to just be guitars, string theory. Get it? I diversify made this work. It's just that when times are tough, I can't pay you to puff up customers with your face looking like I went a weekend. What? I am frightened, Nora. He paused for a moment about the time it takes to lift an axe into the air. I'm going to have to let you go.